Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah of Brunei is synonymous with extravagance and power. Known for his unlimited spending and a lifestyle steeped in royalty, the Sultan doesn't hesitate to flaunt his luxury in every aspect of his life. He resides in a dazzling palace worth $1.4 billion with gold-plated interiors, once spent $27 million on his birthday party, and owns a collection of 7,000 rare cars along with numerous lavish helicopters. However, behind this luxurious lifestyle, Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah has also been known to host wild parties with hundreds of women. Several famous models and writers have spoken out, revealing details of his extravagant parties, with some even suing him for $10 million in compensation. Despite this, the Sultan appears unbothered and continues to issue highly controversial laws. Let's explore the opulent world of Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, the most luxurious monarch of Brunei, and the scandals surrounding this man. The Bolkiah family has ruled Brunei, a small country in Southeast Asia, for over 600 years, double the time the United States has existed. Despite Brunei's population of around 500,000, less than half the size of Austin, Texas, the nation has amassed immense wealth thanks to its valuable oil reserves. When the first generations of the Bolkiah family took control, they couldn't have imagined the value of this tiny land until oil and natural gas reserves were discovered in the early 20th century. This discovery changed everything. With oil now accounting for 99% of Brunei's exports, the country transformed from hardship to becoming one of the richest nations in the world. Although the territory was technically under British protection, the Bolkiah family amassed significant wealth from the newly discovered resources. Hassan al-Bolkiah, born in 1946, inherited an incredible fortune and power from his family, allowing him to continue expanding their wealth. When the oil industry boomed in the 1970s and 1980s, Brunei gained independence in 1984, and Hassan al-Bolkiah had unrestricted spending power without British oversight. By the 1990s, he was one of the richest people on the planet, according to Forbes magazine, with an estimated wealth of $40 billion, mainly from oil sales. Unlike Saudi Arabia, where royal wealth and oil wells are state-controlled, the Sultan of Brunei personally controls and owns all the country's wealth. This personal control gives him unmatched financial autonomy compared to other oil-rich nations. Sources suggest the Sultan now earns $100 per second from oil income and investments, totaling around $2 billion annually. Within Southeast Asia alone, he has lent $300 million to member countries at preferential interest rates. Currently, Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah controls numerous large businesses, contributing significantly to his massive personal fortune. These businesses span various sectors, including oil and gas, finance, aviation, and hospitality. A prime example is Brunei Shell Petroleum, a joint venture between the Brunei government and Shell. The company is responsible for oil and gas exploration, production, and sales in Brunei, and the Sultan's stake in it's valued at several $1 billion. The Sultan is also the chairman of the Brunei Investment Agency, which manages the government's investments. This is one of the world's leading investment funds, with assets estimated at over $30 billion. Overall, these companies play a crucial role in Brunei's economy and contribute to the Sultan's personal wealth. Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah is also considered a legend in Brunei for his extravagant spending habits. With immense wealth, the Sultan spares no expense in showcasing his fortune. He lives in the Istana Nurul Iman Palace, valued at $1.4 billion, covering an area twice the size of Chicago's Millennium Park. The palace features 1,788 rooms, 257 bathrooms, 5 swimming pools, a mosque, and a banquet hall that can accommodate 5,000 people. It's the largest residential palace in the world, with 22-carat gold domes and a garage that holds up to 110 cars. The overall architecture of the Istana Nurul Iman Palace is a blend of European and traditional Malay design. Traditional architecture is combined with ultra-modern luxury decor, featuring Italian marble, granite from Shanghai, British glass, and Chinese silk. Gold and marble are the palace's primary decorative materials. Furthermore, the throne, guest reception furniture, picture frames, bowls, and even water glasses are made of solid gold. It's no exaggeration to say that the palace symbolizes the Sultan's power and the wealth of oil-rich Brunei. Additionally, on top of the palace is a helipad providing direct access to the international airport, which also houses the royal family's collection of million-dollar aircraft. The Sultan is also a horse lover. He built special air-conditioned stables to ensure his prized horses receive the best care and remain in top condition. Istana Nurul Iman holds the title of the largest residential palace in the Guinness World Records, covering over 200,000 square meters. In addition to his palace in Brunei, the Sultan owns properties worldwide, primarily in the US, UK, and Europe. What do you think of this magnificent palace? Feel free to share your thoughts below. Additionally, the Sultan owns nearly 9,000 cars worth around $5 billion, including gold-plated Rolls-Royces and rare luxury models. Highlights include a grey Lamborghini Urraco, a Ferrari 456 GT Venice, one of only 7 in the world, and a super rare Porsche 959, which further elevates the collection's value. If the Sultan were to drive one car each day, it would take 13.5 years to cycle through all 9,000 vehicles. For transportation, Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah not only owns private jets but also invests in extremely luxurious models. Notable examples include a Boeing 747-400, Boeing 767-200, and an Airbus A340-200. To him, spending on luxury and comfort is not just part of life but a way to showcase his greatness. Even his Boeing 747-400 jet is gold-plated and equipped with all the comforts of a mini hotel, including a living room and bedroom. According to British media, the jet is worth $400 million, with a gold-plated bathtub alone costing $120 million. He also gifted his daughter an Airbus A340 for her birthday. The Sultan owns 17 planes alongside his vast car collection and properties. However, these are just the tip of the iceberg, as his real extravagance goes far beyond what others can imagine. Most notably, he personally piloted a Boeing 747 to visit the US in 2013. Additionally, the Airbus A340-212, which the Sultan personally flew to Da Nang, Vietnam, for a conference with the US, is one of only 2 planes designed with royal luxury in mind. His Airbus A340-212 is nicknamed the Flying Palace. He spent $100 million to purchase the plane and another $120 million to redesign the cabin with luxurious materials. According to Business Insider, as of June 2017, only 3 Airbus A340-212 planes existed in the world. Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah frequently uses his Airbus A340-212 for trips. US intelligence reports indicate that security on the plane is incredibly sophisticated. The A340-212 uses 4 engines, produced by the famous aircraft manufacturer Airbus. The fuel tank has been expanded, increasing the range from 12,500 kilometers to 15,000 kilometers. What do you think of Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah's lavish collection? Share your thoughts. Do you think it's risky for a sultan to pilot a plane himself? The Bolkiah family doesn't just spend lavishly on luxury items but also maintains a private zoo with flamingos, falcons, and Bengal tigers. Jeffrey Hassan Al Bolkiah's brother is also infamous for his extravagant spending, having to auction off personal assets after spending $747,000 daily for 10 years. The family owns many other luxury assets, including luxurious hotels, chains of jewelry stores, expensive watches, and thousands of Versace and Armani outfits. The Sultan has also spent $1.26 million on a badminton coach, $1.25 million on acupuncture and massage, and $50,000 on guards for his prized birds. 2 of the Sultan's maids were each paid $7 million. The opulence of this king doesn't stop there. According to The Times, Hassan Al Bolkiah regularly spends $20,000 on a haircut. He flies his favorite barber, who works at the Dorchester Hotel in Mayfair, London, to Brunei for the service. This happens quite frequently. Every 3 or 4 weeks, the barber is flown in first class with travel costs totaling around $12,000. In the UK, the Sultan of Brunei has stunned luxury stores in London with his rapid pace of shopping. Whenever he visits the UK, he burns through millions of dollars. He is also generous with gifts, reportedly spending $17 million annually on diamonds and jewelry for family members. After frequently commissioning London jewelers, the Sultan decided to purchase the company for $320 million. Sultan Bolkiah has also spent significant sums inviting famous singers to perform in Brunei. He has hosted Elton John, Diana Ross, Bon Jovi, and Tina Turner at his home. One story claims that when Whitney Houston was invited to perform, she was handed a blank check. The Sultan asked her to fill in the amount she deemed fit for her performance, and she wrote in $7 million, which was promptly paid. The Sultan's lavish lifestyle has become legendary. Once, during a polo match with Prince Charles of England, he ordered a helicopter to bring him another pair of shoes. Annually, Sultan Bolkiah spends about $500 million on jewelry at the renowned Asprey store in the UK, later purchasing the entire chain. The Sultan also has a passion for art, reportedly paying $70 million for an oil painting by French impressionist Pierre-Auguste Renoir, Two Young Girls at the Piano. According to Archive, Renoir painted it during his passionate or pearl period. What do you think about this king's extravagant spending? Share your thoughts in the comments. But don't be too shocked. How Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah spends on his lavish parties is even more astonishing. Known as one of the wealthiest people in the world, Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah of Brunei is notorious for his limitless spending habits. In 1996, for his 50th birthday, Sultan Bolkiah threw the most expensive birthday party in history to showcase his wealth, spending $27 million on a 2-week-long celebration. The 2-week celebration spanned the entire nation of Brunei. The Sultan built a special stadium for the event, inviting powerful figures from all over the world to celebrate with him. The party drew 60,000 attendees, including notable figures like Prince Charles. The highlight of the event was a performance by Michael Jackson, for which the Sultan paid about $17 million for 3 private shows. Sultan Bolkiah's 50th birthday wasn't just a national event, it was a lavish affair attended by 3,000 close friends, featuring luxurious dishes like caviar and champagne. The grand celebration lasted 2 weeks, starting with a military parade and a polo match with Prince Charles. Following that, Michael Jackson performed a free concert for all attendees. There was also a smaller, more exclusive dinner concert for 3,000 of the Sultan's guests, who were treated to champagne, caviar, and more Jackson music. VIP guests received special gifts such as gold medals. Additionally, civil servants across the country received pay raises, something that hadn't happened in 2 decades. The total cost of the party reached $27 million, a sum that could buy approximately 90 Ferraris. Sultan Bolkiah also owns a massive collection of 600 Rolls-Royces, 450 Ferraris, and 380 Bentleys. What do you think about this lavish party? Share your thoughts. Sultan Bolkiah's opulence extends beyond parties. He is beloved by his kingdom for ensuring that social services like healthcare and education are provided free of charge to the people. Many things are free in Brunei, from healthcare and education to roads and personal income tax. Fuel, food, and other essentials are subsidized. The government even supports housing and provides interest-free loans for citizens to make purchases. Unemployment benefits in Brunei are high, while the costs of basic necessities like fuel, electricity, and water are extremely low. Tourists visiting Brunei enjoy free admission to most attractions. Bus fares, even for routes spanning tens of kilometers, are as low as $1 Brunei dollar. Travelers can flag buses anywhere along the road and request to stop at any point unless prohibited. As a result, Brunei's GDP per capita is one of the highest in the world. The government and government-related organizations are the primary employers. More than 450,000 Bruneians enjoy a relatively high standard of living without the burden of taxes, benefiting from generous social welfare programs. However, the Sultan's image took a severe hit in 2019 when he imposed strict Islamic Sharia laws. If you engage in illicit activities before marriage in Brunei, you could face up to 7 years in prison. Acts like adultery could lead to severe punishment, and homosexuality can be punished by death. Additionally, insulting the Prophet Muhammad, following any religion other than Islam, or dressing immodestly can result in harsh penalties. This has turned Brunei into a country where people must strictly adhere to the rules or face severe consequences. But there's a major paradox in this nation, as Sultan Brunei, the one who enforces these rules, indulges in lifestyle choices that directly contradict them. He regularly hosts extravagant and controversial parties, engaging in activities that go against the rules he imposes on the public. So it's clear that the Sultan does not follow the strict regulations he sets for others. The Bolkiah brothers have been known for hosting luxurious social events where many women were present in not-so-respectable roles. Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah, the Sultan's infamous playboy brother, is renowned for his supercar collection, million-dollar yachts, and harem of 40 women. Jeffrey, known as the Brunei Playboy, swapped lovers frequently and gifted them lavish presents and large sums of money. Surrounded by beautiful women, Jeffrey was notorious for spending vast sums on his personal indulgences, including unique luxury items. He once spent $1.3 million on pens adorned with intricate artistic engravings and $10 million for 8 custom-designed wristwatches. One of the most talked about scandals involved Jeffrey commissioning a renowned artist to create 6 life-size statues depicting him and his lover at a cost of $800,000. Jeffrey's reckless generosity even led to absurd situations. He once spent $60 million pursuing a $7 million lawsuit for years because he suspected his financial advisors had undersold a 23-room mansion for $11 million when its actual value was $18 million. What's your take on Prince Jeffrey's spending habits? Let us know in the comments. Perhaps the most shocking thing is the party lifestyle these two brothers shared. During the 1980s and 1990s, the Bolkiah brothers were infamous for throwing lavish parties and indulging in hedonistic lifestyles, setting up a harem at their palace. They owned luxury hotels in London, Paris, and New York. Jeffrey also became famous for purchasing several luxury yachts, all named after women's body parts. One notable scandal occurred in 1997 when former Miss USA Shannon Marketic sued Hassanal Bolkiah and Jeffrey for turning her into a sex slave. Marketic had traveled to Brunei to promote a U.S. cosmetics company, but upon arrival, her passport and plane tickets were taken away, leaving her unable to leave. She was then mysteriously brought to the palace, where she awoke to find herself disheveled, lying next to the elderly sultan. She was forced to become an unwilling guest of the palace and only managed to escape later. Court documents revealed that Marketic claimed there were 30 to 100 women present in the palace at any given time. Some women knew they were selected for special purposes, but others, like Marketic, believed they were hired for legitimate advertising jobs paying $3,000 per day. Following Marketic's accusations, the Sultan's office immediately denied the allegations. Marketic sought $10 million in compensation, but the lawsuit was dismissed due to Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah's sovereign immunity. The case was thrown out because the Sultan, as the head of state, was politically too significant for the US to challenge. What do you think of this scandal? Let us know your thoughts. It's certain that King Hassanal Bolkiah's power is untouchable, as he can seduce anyone he wants into his palace to do anything. When he desires women, no one can stop him because all of King Hassanal Bolkiah's wealth and power protect him from prosecution in a formal court. Even more shocking, in August 2010, a book hit the shelves exposing everything about the Sultan and his family's secret affairs. It was written by a woman named Lauren Gillian, who said she spent time at the Sultan's parties from 1992 to 1995 and knew that she would become a call girl for the king. Lauren claimed that King Bolkiah would only choose the girls he wanted sent to Brunei. She recounted that every day the prince would open a magazine filled with pictures of women and say, "I want that woman," then order them to bring the girl to his bed. Shockingly, some of the king's chosen girls were only 15 years old. She affirmed that she was a witness to the king's improper acts. Besides serving the king, she also stated that she had slept with his brother Jeffrey hundreds of times. Lauren said her book was banned in Brunei. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts on the shocking scandals of the Bruneian royal family. However, the relationship between the brothers soured due to women and Jeffrey's extravagant lifestyle. This excessive lifestyle became more apparent in the legal battle between Hassanal Bolkiah and Prince Jeffrey. In just 1 year, Jeffrey spent $12 billion, depleting 9 to 10% of the national economy. Jeffrey was accused of making over $14 billion disappear. The king then banished his brother for many years after this scandal. Jeffrey was forced to sell over 2,000 luxury cars and many assets to repay the royal family. Ellen DeGeneres and Elton John joined the boycott movement, urging others not to visit hotels owned by the Sultan. Protesting against the Bruneian government is difficult as the Sultan controls all media outlets. Around 60% of Brunei's population lacks internet access, and those who do are closely monitored by the government. Domestic journalists can be jailed for up to 3 years for reporting on issues disfavored by the Sultan, and the government has the authority to shut down any media outlets it wishes. Any criticism of the royal family is considered a criminal offense. What do you think about this law? Share your thoughts. The Sultan's personal life has also intrigued and surprised many, as he has 3 wives. The Sultan married his first cousin, a flight attendant, and a TV presenter, with a total of 12 children. Specifically, in 1965, he married his cousin Raja Isteri Pengiran Anak Haja Saleh, who bore him 6 children, including Crown Prince Al-Muhtadi. Polygamy is legal in Brunei, so the Sultan remarried, but Raja remains in her position. She impresses the public and international guests with her gentle and courteous demeanor. During diplomatic activities, the Queen of Brunei made an impression by gifting Michelle Obama, when Barack was president, a jewelry set worth $71,468. The set included flower-shaped white gold earrings, a matching ring, and a necklace adorned with yellow sapphires and diamonds, according to the annual U.S. report on diplomatic gifts. The new generation of Brunei's royal family seems to continue the tradition of lavish living. Some of the royal family members have hosted extravagant weddings in Brunei, including Prince Abdul Malik, the Sultan's third son, who married in 2015. Forbes described it as a royal wedding that outshines all others, with over a week of festivities. The main ceremony saw the couple dressed in jewelry-laden attire, with the bride holding a bouquet made of precious stones and metals instead of real flowers. Additionally, when Crown Prince Brunei married Sarah Saleh, 17 years old, the bride wore gemstone-encrusted Christian Louboutin heels and a solid gold anklet. At his eldest daughter's wedding, Princess Rashida, the Sultan spent $5.5 million to have Whitney Houston perform at the reception. One of the Sultan's sons, Prince Abdul Matan, is an Instagram star with over 1 million followers, where he showcases his polo playing and time spent on yachts, private jets, and in world-class hotels. And Prince Azim, the Sultan's second son, became famous for hosting extravagant parties attended by celebrities, including Pamela Anderson, Janet Jackson, and Mariah Carey. Notably, the latter two have both won the Ally Award, which honors those who support the LGBT community. With the Sultan controlling much of the country's assets and resources, including 1.3 billion barrels of oil, the royal family's wealth could be worth hundreds of billions of dollars, possibly even reaching $1 trillion. The Sultan is able to keep most of his wealth through companies and global trusts, with fake names listed as the owners. If anyone attempts to access his accounts, they face a complex maze of companies and trusts that could take months before any response is received. With the Sultan's complete control over the economy and his family's immense assets, they will continue to maintain their wealth and power while limiting criticism and opposition from outside. His wealth continues to grow, making him one of the richest and most influential monarchs in the world. According to geological research agencies, Brunei's oil reserves are estimated to last for another 25 years. So we have explored the luxurious lifestyle of the Sultan of Brunei and the shocking scandals within his family. What do you think of this king? Would you like us to cover any other topics? Please remember to comment and share your thoughts. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get the latest videos from us. See you in the next video.